Hello, Resurrection. Today is May the 14th, Thursday, and this is my Thursday weekly talk. I've been doing these for several weeks now, and I enjoy communicating with you, but I do not enjoy not seeing you when I do communicate with you. I miss you all a great deal. I do have some news today, and that in regards to the reopening of public worship. I'm sure that most of you know that the mayor and the governor are easing restrictions on us, and as they do that, the bishop is easing some of those restrictions. Well, he's got a hard job right now. He's got several folks who are ready to string him up no matter what he does. You all keep the bishop in your prayers. He is going to allow us to return to limited public worship beginning this Monday. So we will still be worshiping online this coming Sunday, but on May the 24th, we will return to Sunday worship at Resurrection in a limited capacity. Now, I'm going to tell you what all we'll be offering, but before I do any of that, I want you to know that in opening up the church for public worship, I am not in any way encouraging folks who are not ready to come back to come. Please don't see this as an encouragement, because as we continue to work through this, the folks who probably ought to stay home, the folks who are worried and not ready to come back, Jesus understands that, and you won't be in trouble with him or with me for staying put and taking care of yourself. That's not only is that okay, but it's probably wise, it's probably smart. I'm going to confess to you that there is a part of me that worries that we may be doing this a bit soon. So if you have any reservations, stay where you are. We'll continue to broadcast it, and we'll all be back together when it's time. Now, we're going to be offering 3 services starting on May the 24th. It may change before then. It may change shortly after that. The only thing we know is that things continue to change pretty quickly. But right now, on May the 24th, we have scheduled an 8 o'clock service, which will be Rite 1. That will be in the nave, and it will be limited to 24 households. Now, we will tape off every other pew, and we'll tape a good 6-foot section in the middle of each of the pews. So we'll have households on either side. And you can sit with your household, and that should give you plenty of room. That probably should give you more than 6 feet even to your nearest neighbor. That'll be Rite 1. The way you'll need to reserve a spot for that, just to make sure that we don't have everybody showing up at one service or another. And the way you do that is you can call Miss Ann in the church office, but the easiest way to do it is she's going to send around in our weekly email that you should get sometime today on Thursday, a sign-up sheet, right? It'll be done through Sign Up Genius. You click on that, you click your spot, and it will be saved for you. You can sit in any of the open spots in the church when you get here. If Sign Up Genius is too complicated, I don't think it's very complicated, but it may be a little more than some of you have bargained for. Just pick up the phone or shoot me a text or shoot an email or something like that, and Miss Ann's putting all of that together for me. So there'll be an 8 o'clock Rite 1 in the church, in the nave, limited to 24 households. There will then be a 9:30. That's different. We never have a 9:30. There will be a 9:30 Eucharist, Rite 2, in the nave. It will also be limited to 24 households. Now, something that sounds like a lot of fun to me is our 11 o'clock service. We'll have an 8, a 9:30, and an 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock will be outside on the back green with picnic blankets and lawn chairs. Bring those yourself. You can even bring a picnic lunch. Don't bring a picnic lunch to share, just your household. And I think that will be a beautiful and wonderful time outside, weather permitting. Now, if it rains or if it's terribly muddy on that day, we don't have a contingency plan. We won't just move that service inside because it'll be too large. So if it's raining, get up on Sunday morning, and if it looks like rain or if it looks like it's terribly muddy, there will not be an 11 o'clock service that day. I'll try to communicate that as early as possible, Saturday night, Sunday morning, so you'll know. So those are the 3 options we will have. Some people are not ready to come back And my hat is off to you for that. Please stay put if you need to. That's absolutely fine. Now, the bishop recommends that we follow all of the suggested guidelines for our area. Health and Hospitals, CDC, the governor, you name it. Some of those are conflicting, I know. I wish that you would please consider wearing a mask when you come. It has been proven that that's the best way to protect your neighbors. You may not be worried about it, about the virus. You may have absolutely no symptoms, but there will be people who are at a higher risk who are coming. They're welcome to stay, but if they choose to come, wearing a mask is probably a good, kind, generous, charitable thing to do for our neighbors. That's the only reason that I'm worried about that mask thing. 24 households per indoor service. You can sign up for that, make a reservation through Sign Up Genius. The church will be cleaned as best we can in between the services. Every surface that we think has been touched will be wiped down with hospital grade cleaner, which we already have, and we will be as vigorous as we can, as thorough as we can be in cleaning the service in between and before and after all of the services. Now, there's no limit to outdoor worship. As many can come as want to, as long as we keep a good 6, 8, 10 feet distance between us. We've got plenty of room to do that outside. We love to worship outside at Resurrection, so I'm really looking forward to that. Bring anything that you might need for that service. Now, from now for the foreseeable future, we'll continue to do communion the way we did it before, which was just distributing the bread. You know, I've said before that we believe in something called the Doctrine of Concomitant, which means if you receive the bread and the bread alone, then you have received the full benefit of communion. That we are in a time right now where we're not able to take the cup. And Jesus understands that. It's okay. Now, I am going to do my best. I will wear a mask as I give you communion. We'll probably do that in a line with a good 6, 8 feet in between households rather than coming to the rail, and certainly that's how we'll do it outside. I will wear a mask. I will also use something to pick up the wafer and drop it in your hand, so I'm not touching your hand or the bread. Going to do the best we can with that. I'm going to try everything in my power to keep as much distance between us as we can, not because I'm worried about me, because I'm worried about everybody else. I think that's what Jesus told us we ought to be worried about. I will not be giving communion on your lips or on your tongue. We'll only be doing that on our hands. This is all kind of up in the air. It is brand new territory for all of us. I'm going to try to continue broadcasting at that 9:30 service. Now that's a time change from when we normally broadcast, but the 9:30, because I think that's the one where it can most practically be done. Can't really do it at the 11 o'clock outside service because I don't think you'd hear everything that you need to hear. So we'll continue to broadcast. We'll do that at 9:30. You don't have to worry about missing the time change because I always record that service and post it on YouTube and Facebook so that you can see it later if you missed it. Now, I learned pretty early on in my ministry that we think together as a church than as individuals. Many of you have great ideas that you have shared with me that I have incorporated. Some of them I don't know that I'm able to pull off very well, but others have been super ideas. So you never hesitate to contact me to talk through these things with me, so please do. You know how to get in touch with me. I love to hear from you, and I love everything you have to say. I miss you so much. I love you. I will not see you this Sunday, but hopefully I will see you the next. God bless.